Hi there, my name is Paulo Martinez, and this presentation is called Let's Get Organized. The presenters are myself, Jesse de la Cruz, and Saul Salinas. So the objective of this presentation is to learn some of the best ways to organize your Google Classroom to best service your students as well as keep track of your progress and success. So we've been doing this online learning for quite a while, and it's still a little stressful because we're all over the place. Some of us have figured out ways to keep organized, some of us have not. So this little tutorial we're doing today is just to just show some styles of organization, try to compare and see which work and which best suit some teachers. Some teachers' organizations are different than others. I have my own style, and I'm going to show you some other styles as well to keep yourself organized. Okay, but we're going to look at some basic key points, and there's three steps. I'm trying not to make it too long, but there's going to be three steps you should, in my opinion, worry about when it comes to organizing your online virtual classroom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at those three steps together. Okay, so step one is organize your Google Drive. All right, so your Google Drive has everything. Anything you do in Google Classroom, anything you save will automatically get saved to your drive. We have unlimited storage on the drive because it's a business drive that the school purchased, so you can post a lot of stuff. You can post um, a bunch of videos, a bunch of content, and you don't have to worry about storage space. All right. So when organizing your drive allows you to keep many things organized within not just your teaching, but also your professional career. So what I mean by that, you don't need to worry. You don't need to just post stuff for education. You know, like your videos, your lesson plans, your assignments. You can also post your professional development hours, your T-test, or not T-test, but well, your T-test stuff. Me, I'm a coach. I post a lot of my stuff for coaching for football and for golf on there, just so I can have everything organized in one place. And you know, Google Drive can be your best friend if you organize yourself. So, what are some things you should organize? Well, first off is the subject you teach or subjects, because I know some of us have different subjects, especially people that teach in the high school. You might teach, English 1 in the morning and English 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So it depends. Some of us might just have one file. Some of us might have different files. It's very important to keep those files, organized and separate. And what should you keep in those files? Well, your lesson plans, your assignments, your projects, your lesson slides, and also your curriculum. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that right now. So let me go ahead and exit out of here. And I'm going to be coming back and forth from this slide. So remember, this is step one, organizing your drive. So let's go ahead and take a look at my drive. And every person's drive is different depending on their organization. How do they want to organize it? So this is my drive. On the top, you'll see the stuff that I already have open. Here are my folders. Some people don't know that there are folders. Yes, you can make folders for Google Drive. Um, I have each of these folders are important and serve a purpose for me. I have them like this because it's easier to access. Some people might have it like this because it's they find it better organized like that. And that you can find right here, and it's you can have it on grid. I prefer grid. Some people might like it, as a list instead. Excuse me. So like I prefer as a grid. So these are the different things I use. So my main area is history. So what I did is I created a history class lessons. That's where I post everything. Okay. So here is where all my stuff for history is. Here are all the assignments I created. Like this is just a quick access, but here is all the stuff. And I put it into units. I have unit 1, 2, unit 3 I have somewhere here. I just need to like look for it, but it's there. Unit 4, and so forth. And I also have my lesson plans. Here are my lesson plans. I co-teach with another teacher, so me and him, collaborate a lot. So there's two files, one for me and one for him. This is where I keep all my lesson plans at. All right. I have stuff for Kami in case I want to post stuff on Kami. My progress sheet. That's for the students. Then I have my virtual classroom. I do have a virtual classroom in there. So I have all this stuff here. All right. Now, before I jump ahead, how do I create a folder? Okay. So how do I create a folder? Like, let's say I teach science or sixth grade science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, or you can right click and you press new. But the easiest thing is click right here, new. You're going to put new folder. You can put sixth grade. That's just an example. You can put whatever grade level you teach. And you put, maybe science. There we go. Create. And it's going to come out right here. So see sixth grade science, it comes out like that. Now, the next thing you'd want to do is color code it. Like me, I have mine colored in green. That way I know where to find it, because those are the two important things I look for, the green, either for football or history. Those are the main things I kind of do, because one, I'm a football coach, and two, I'm a history teacher. So those are the two files I would look for. If I'm looking for something either doing with history or football, I'm going to look for green, because that's my main thing. If I need something with sports, well, it's blue. If I need something with my tech team, I look in purple or whatever, So it's important to color code, like I said. So I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to go here where it says change colors, and I'm going to color it whatever color I like best that I know I will find it. So I'm going to color it there. So see, now I have my folder, I have it colored, I know which color it is, okay? So right now it's empty because I don't have anything in there. I can add stuff if I need to. So what I can do is either press new and put folder, or I can right click and put folders or file. Okay. Now let me show you, let's go back to my folder and show you what kind of files you can create. Okay. So in mine, like I said, I try keeping them by units and other things as well. When it comes to teaching, I keep it by units. Like unit 1, I click here. And I use a lot of Nearpod and Pear Deck. So here are my Nearpod units right there. Okay, so these are all my lessons for Nearpod. All right, let's look at Unit 2. So Unit 2, I have this here. And here's the Nearpod. And here are all the Nearpod lessons I did with Unit 2. And then here are the assignments that I did for Unit 2. So it's very important that you do work with your files, because it does keep everything organized. Everything's just a quick access for me to look for. I don't need to because if you don't have a folder, it's just gonna be somewhere here, and you're gonna have to look for it, or you'd have to click right here and type out what the name of the file would be. See? And that would take forever. So like I said, it's important to have a file created for the subject you teach, because you don't want to have a bunch of files. Like here I have them for different things, for different presentations I've done, for different areas I have. I don't want to have my stuff scattered, because it's a lot of stuff, as you can see here, and it's going to be very hard to find those things, especially when you're going to post an assignment on Google Classroom. So like let's say here I have my history class and I want to post an assignment. So then I'd go here, assign, and let's say I created something on my drive, like let me show you. So I can look on my recents, I can put this presentation, or I can go to my drive and then I click on, right here where the class is, where the history class. I go to whichever unit I'm working with, maybe like unit 4. If I want to post an assignment like this one, I can click this one here and I can post it, and it's simple as that. I don't have to be going around like crazy. I don't have to create an assignment right here. I can just, create it on my drive and post it here, and just make sure I, put it so that students can edit the file or whatever. So that's why it isn't, like I said, it's important to, create files, because it keeps you very organized. That's one step of keeping yourself organized on Google Classroom. It might seem strenuous, but as soon as you get the hang of it, it's like super quick and simple. Once you create your classroom file, you're like either it'd be history, math, writing, social studies, even if it's an elective. Once you create this, all you got to worry about is opening it up and just working on what's in here, like creating your files and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, mine here has a little person. That means that I'm collaborating with somebody. So let me show you. So if I click here, it shows that I'm collaborating here. This is this is a co-teacher I work with. So me and him co-teach. So that means that whatever files I create here, it's going to create on his drive, on his shared drive. So right here would be share with me, and he would get all the stuff here. Or you can click right here on star, and all the files are here. So let's go back over here. Okay, so like I said, there's different things you can do. Like these are some of the stuff I have. Like this is for my virtual classroom because I do have a virtual classroom. These are the classes. I have them from 1st through 7th period. Anything I change here will change on the virtual classroom that I posted. Okay, then I have, my units. This is unit 4. I haven't worked too much on them because we're not done with it yet, but we're getting there. This is unit 2. This one I have a little bit more stuff, and I keep it very simple. These are the files I've posted. Don't try to pay attention to these. Pay attention to this up here. If you're working, let's say you have a Nearpod assignment, you would put it here. That way, you know which Nearpods you need to work with or which ones the kids are working on. Then you have your assignments here. And here are the assignments I do. I do very few assignments in my class. And we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so that's where I'd put all my assignments. Now you might ask, okay, so like let's say I create an assignment on slides, but so like I said, you would go over here. Let me move this out of the way. Click here, go to your slides, and your slide. Let's say this one right here. I want to put it in a certain place. Like I want to put it there in my class. I go here to File. There is an option right here where it says Move To. Oh, here you go. So right here it says Move. And it'll ask you where to put it. So you just look for your file. Like, let's say I want to put it here. And then I want to put it, let's say Unit 4. And I'm going to put Move here. So then I'm going to come back over here. Let me go back here. I'm on Unit 4, so click on Unit 4. And there it is. And if I need to move it anywhere else, I could just, drag it. Or just click right here and put where it says Move To. And you can move it around. So that, I'm just going to leave that there for now. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out. So like I said, files can be your best friend. They can help you it can keep you very organized. It's like keeping a binder and having your dividers. These are like basically this right here would be your binder. These are your dividers, and this is the work or material that you have within your dividers. So it's very, very important to work with these, and I can't stress that enough. It's helped me so much throughout the year, and it's kept me very organized. Okay, so let's see. I think I've talked enough about that. So let's go back to the presentation. So step 2 is organizing your Google Classroom. So we're going to talk about organizing the Google Classroom itself. So the reason why I didn't go straight into your Google Classroom is because it's very important to let me go back. Set up your drive first. Make sure that everything's neat and not all over the place, because once you start working with Google Classroom, then it will make setting up your classroom super easy. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to my Google Classroom over here. Go back to my main menu. All right, so I have a bunch of them. So it's very important to, depending on what subjects you teach, if you teach different subjects, to try to keep them all kind of aligned to the same format. And like I said, I teach one subject, but I have a bunch of other, I help out other teachers, and I do the tech online. All right. And some of them are the same format, some of them are not. Like my 1st through 7th period, they all have the same format, because to have something different in each and every class is just going to drive you insane. Trust me, I tried that during March, and it didn't go so well. So let me give you an example. Like before all this started, I didn't have too much experience. So I would post assignments like this, and I was just posting and posting, and yeah, like you get the hang of, creating and using these up here, and just, posting an assignment and say, okay, the assignment just got posted, look at the date. Sometimes the kids do not get it, because sometimes I would post an assignment or I'd post topics, because you see these are different. These are assignments right here, the ones with the notepad. You can see the lines, and then this one with the little flag up here, these are topics. This is a table, and this is a schedule. And the kids would be like, well, because when you do a material, which is this one, kids can't turn it in, they just look at it and they're like, well, and they always tell me, they would always like get confused about that, so I needed to explain that to them. So just posting blindly like this is very hard for the kids. So when I got the hang of it, let me go back to the archives over here. So these are my archive classes from last year. Let me see if this one's a good example. So I decided I needed to start posting tabs, or not tabs, but topics. That way the kids would understand what to do. And I would post them by weeks. Some people they'll do them by 6 weeks. Some people will do them on different ways. When we first started, when this pandemic hit around March, I was posting bi-weekly. That way the kids knew what was due that week, and it made it a little bit easier for them. I didn't make it too technical because and I was just giving basically like asynchronous assignments, because we didn't have a lot of stuff available yet, and the kids, not everybody had a device yet, not everybody had internet yet, so I just kept it simple, very easy basic work. All right. So when we got started, I thought to myself, I need to make this easier for my kids to understand. So I did this. So let's look at my first period. So I'm going to go classwork. I have my virtual classroom, then I have my bell work, and then I have my assignments, then I have my 6 weeks review test or whatever, missing work, lesson slides, lesson videos, tests, homework. So you see, I have them in different, like you can say, sections. All right. And some teachers will do it by 6 weeks. Like I see some teachers doing this down here. I don't do this. I put this here just so, for accountability purposes, the principal could come back and be like, okay, what did he do for 6 weeks? Here's all the work. Here's all the stuff we did for 6 weeks. Here's all the stuff we did second 6 weeks. I'm going to have to create one for third 6 weeks. But me, whenever there's a new 6 weeks, I tell the kids, don't look at this down here. Just pay attention to these up here, okay? And it's very simple. There's the virtual classroom, there's the bell work, there's the assignments, and then there's the other stuff. I always tell them that the first 3 are the most important, because it's what they need to worry about the most, okay? So I divided them by topics, and this is basically your preference. You could do it by 6 weeks, like this down here. You can just create a topic and put, second 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, or whatever. Or you can put what I did here. Me, I find this easier because the kids already, they'll just log in and be like, okay, bell work, what's due? This is the bell work this week. This is the assignments for this week or this date or whatever, And I did this because, in my opinion, I think it's easier. I think that my students would be very lost if I was just posting different assignments like these every day. In this format. I'm not bashing on any teachers that do this. It's just me, myself. I think that this would be very hard for my kids, because there's a lot of assignments, as you can see here, that I posted. There's a lot of bell work. There's a lot of stuff. So it was just going to overwhelm my kids if they saw something like this. Would be very overwhelming versus, putting it in sections, like, oh, there's only like 4 bell works. There's only like 4 or 5 assignments, versus looking at this over here, and some of these weren't even assignments. Like let's look at this right here. This was a review. This is for missing work. So it would be, in my opinion, I think this is very overwhelming, this kind of format. So I did them like this. Now let me show you how you do this kind of format. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back. Let me open a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and open up Google Classroom again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class just so we can, you know, look at how we create these topics, okay? So let me go ahead and press create. Now, while we do that, let me go over here. So, like I said, there's many ways to organize your Google Classroom. It's important to try to find the best way to organize yourself in order for you and your students to have success. So it will be, like I said, we're looking at different ways. I showed you 2 different ways. We're going to look at that. So, now what's important, okay, guys? So what is very important, let me make this bigger, is when you're organizing your classroom on Google Classroom, it's important to remember that to try to keep things simple and not post assignments after assignments without a simple, clear instructions. Okay, so sometimes when we post a lot, it will overstimulate the kids. Okay, and like right here, you see this here, like how I have it here. If I had it this format, my kids would be like, "Pues no, but I'm not gonna do this. This is too much work." Versus, having this over here in sections, it's a little bit more relaxed. Maybe they can work on this section first and then work on the section later. If you have those kind of kids that just, they fall behind, you can tell them, hey, work on bell work today. There's very few, and then you work on the assignment tomorrow if they're falling behind, depending on the situation. But it's like here, it just does not look like a lot of work compared to down here. Like this is the entire 6 weeks is everything we did. Okay. Let me go back up here. All right, and let me go to the next slide real quick. So before we start posting assignments like crazy, it's important to organize what sections they would go and label what they are. One important tool option that Google Classroom offers is it's often overlooked is the topic tool. Okay, so topics can help you divide your classroom into sections depending on what it is you want to do. Some teachers will set up their topics by 6 weeks. Some will set up their topics by different assignments such as bell work, tests, etc. Okay, so it's like I was saying here, some teachers, I see a lot of teachers, they'll just put, the 6 weeks and they'll put the work or the material or whatever they're doing. Okay. And for some people it works, some people it doesn't. In my class, I feel like it doesn't work. I did that, from March to May, and my kids were just lost, because I did similar format and I just didn't like it. All right. Another thing is, there's things that you don't get to utilize, like the topics right here. Let's say, hey, you're missing bell work. You know what? I just want to. You can tell the kids just concentrate on bell work. They can click right here. Here's all the assignments from bell work. It tells them, like here, it's telling me how many kids turned it in. It's going to show them what they turned in and what they're missing. And let me sign in as a student real quick so I can show you what that looks like. So here I'm logged into the students account. Let me go ahead and find my class. That way we can take a look at it together. Here we go. So here on classwork. All right, so let's say I want to concentrate just on my bell work as a student. So here it says assigned. That means I haven't done it yet. Here it says missing. That means I still haven't done it yet. So the kids can see, like, and you just need to train them, if it says assigned, that means they haven't done it yet. If it says missing, that means that they haven't done it yet, Or let's say they work on assignments. You can click here on assignments just to concentrate on the assignments. Here it says graded. So they can click here and they can look at their grade and all that. And like I said, the 2 things you need to teach the kids, if it still says assigned or missing, that means they haven't done it. If it says graded, that means that it's already done. Okay, so that's one way. And that's why it's important to, keep your topics like these instead of first 6 weeks, second 6 weeks. Because sometimes, you're not going to have things that are useful. Like let's say right here I have 6 weeks review. You see this right here, that like there's nothing for me to turn in. It's just the review I have for them. So they can't do anything with it, and it's just going to be extra stuff that they are going to look at. They're going to have a hard time with. They're just some kids will just not pay attention. They're going to think that this is an assignment instead of it being material, you know? So it's, like I said, it's important to try to have sections, you know? That's why I have them like this, where it's like that. Okay, so let me go back and let's look at it as a student. That way we can see the student view a little bit more. So like I said, I have it under these, and then I also have under bell work and assignments. I also have this. So I have this right here just for because I want to. Then I have missing work. I do that for my kids. That way they can look at what work they're missing. Okay, because on Google Classroom it tells the teacher what the students are missing, but the students they have to look one by one. Because on Google Classroom it has, for teachers, let me go over here, it has grades. This is the teacher view. For students, they don't have that option. So what I do is I put a spreadsheet of who's missing what, who's passing or who's failing. That way they have an idea of what to look for. And this one I didn't do, but I usually link the assignments here. So they would see what they're missing, they'd click here, and it would take them straight to the assignment. Right, but that's some extra stuff. But right now we're just working on organizing your classroom. So that's one of the topics I have here. Another thing I have are lesson slides. This is where I keep all the slideshows for the kids to look at in case they need to come back later and look at what they learned. Then I have my PowerSchool grade book here. Well, this would be for the students and parents sign in. So they click here, they put their information and they would check. And I just put that there just so the students have an easier time accessing PowerSchool, either on their phone or on laptops. So like I said, that's just so I don't have to be explaining over and over again where they can check their grades. It saves a lot of time and it keeps the kids organized. You know, they have the option to go through there. I have a lot of kids that do use this, and their parents go through here instead of me telling them, okay, first you're going to go to this website, then you're going to click on this link. Instead, I just linked it up there. Then I have my school syllabus, just in case the parents need to see, like, you know, the requirements for my class and all that. I have announcements for the week. These I usually post every once in a while. I don't post them too much. Then I have the attendance form. This is so if kids are coming late to my class, I tell them to sign in and they get marked as absent. I do check, and if they don't, then I make a phone call. Then I have the bell schedule here. This I put here because the kids always be like, well, what day is asynchronous? What day is what day? And I'm like, you know what? Check your bell schedule. So they just open it up, and it tells them here, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is asynchronous and all that. I do try to follow the schedule, not too much, but I do usually go with, you know, the asynchronous days and the synchronous days. But mostly it's just so the kids know what time they need to log in, what time is their next class, and what time they need to come back from lunch. So this is very useful for them because they just open it up, they see what time their next class is or when they have to come back from lunch, instead of having to like be asking and asking. That's there for them. They just log into my class and they see it there. So I have that all available there. And like I said, every single topic serves a purpose, okay? So let's get into it here. So we're going to look at how to create a topic. So you're going to go to classwork. And like I said, you know, a lot of teachers will just go into just creating and creating and creating. You need to work on topics. Like let's say, let's go right here. And one important topic I think is important to, you know, manage a class is bell work. Because no matter what, if you're running late, if you're having a hard time with getting your presentation done, the kids can work on bell work for about 20 minutes, even the whole class period, depending on what you want them to do. So I just put bell work, and bell work I would usually just do CNN 10. So I'm going to go to YouTube, and I usually get the YouTube video for CNN 10 because the videos change every day, and I want them to all work on the same thing. So let me go to CNN 10. And I'm going to look for the video for the day that they're going to work on. So let me look here. So obviously they probably took a break because of vacations, but this would be the video I want for them to work on. I would just copy the link, go here, sorry, right here. And then I'm going to put create and put assignment, and then I'm going to put bell work. And it would be the 4th 6 week, so I'd put 4.1. And then I'd put add, put links, and then I'd put this here. paste, add link. So the reason, like I said, I put the YouTube video because that YouTube video will stay there like basically forever until you delete the class. If I put the CNN link, the CNN link will go away. And next, what I would do is I would provide a due date. So what date would I want them to get this done? Usually I tell the kids get everything turned in by Friday. Time is optional. Like I'd probably put like 12 a.m. whatever. And topics, well, I want to put it under the Bellwork topic. Okay. So it's very important to use these here. Your due dates and your topic. It's important to put your topic here. Now let's say you don't put it on your topic. All right, so let's go ahead and put create. Let's say, oh, I forgot to, put Bellwork onto Bellwork. So what I would do is I click here and I just drag here. Okay. And then next, make another topic. Let's say you want to post an assignment. So I'm going to type here assignments. I'm going to go ahead and type here assignments. Put add. And I mean, if you're going to capitalize, go ahead and capitalize. I'm just doing this to hurry up because I don't want to make this video too long. So here I'd put my topic for assignments. So here I would create my assignment. I'm just going to put whatever assignment I have here. Let me go in my drive. Let's say, let me see what we were working on last. Let's work with branches of the government. Make sure I make a copy for each student. That way each student can be able to work on theirs. I'm going to put a due date, and like I said, everything I do is on Friday. Time period, doesn't really matter if you put a time, I usually do. Topic, I'm going to make sure to put it under assignments. Now, like I said, if you don't, you can just grab and drag. But it's important to try to put them in the right order as much as you can, because it keeps you and the students organized. So here I'd put 3 branches. All right, and I just abbreviated it that because I don't want to take too long. So I'm going to just wait for a few minutes or seconds, sorry, and it should post. And now it's posted. So see, now I have the next topic. And then depending on your preference, what else you want to post, you would create a topic and put it there. Or let's say you want to put it by 6 weeks, so next would be, 4th 6 weeks. You put that there. Let me move this out of the way. And you could just post your assignments and your Bellwork there. Like I said, I do this like that way the kids don't get confused. Now, let me go back over here. Now, let's look at mine again. Now, let's say you're already done with let's say you want to go ahead and work with this here. Like you want to go with my format where you put Bellwork assignments and stuff like that. And then you want to be able to, you don't want to delete your assignments, you want to save it like this. What do you do? So this is what you do. You go ahead and create a table or a topic, and you put, here I'd put 36 weeks. And I'm just going to abbreviate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my virtual classroom alone because I use that all the time. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab and drag all my assignments and put them here to 36 weeks. And Google Classroom lets you do that. Like you can just grab and drag. You see I grabbed all my assignments. They're gone from Bellwork. There's no more Bellwork assignments. Then I grab my regular assignments. I grab 36 weeks and move it down. So you see now Bellwork and assignments are empty. So that means that I can post more assignments for the next 6 weeks. And what I would do is, well, I need to put all of these in there. That I'll do a little bit later. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab and go down. And I'll leave these down here to the bottom. That way I can come back to those later. Maybe next year I can come back and look at some of the assignments that I did last year and use them again next year. Or, just have them there in case we get audited by the state and they see if we were actually doing work or not. So that's already there for them to see. I don't really worry about the order because it's already work that's already done, you know. But it's all there. All the assignments you have are there. These are all the assignments from second 6 weeks that I have. I have them all here. Here are all the assignments, bell work, and materials from first 6 weeks. They're all there. Okay, so you see, like I said, using the topics, there's endless possibilities of what you can do with your topics. Okay, and with the kids, it's like let's go back to the student sign in. With the kids, they can see things differently. Like here right now, this is blank because I took it off, so it's not going to come out yet until I post an assignment. Okay. And down here, you can see that it says 36 weeks. But for the kids, like let's say they want to look at PowerSchool, but they don't want to scroll, they can click here, takes them straight to PowerSchool. They need to look at their missing work, they click here. Here's their missing work, they just open it up, and it shows them all their missing work. Okay. So that's one way to keep yourself organized with, using topics, because topics really does help out a lot. And it's just one simple thing that helps you organize all these things here. That way you can be able to, put them in order and have some sort of neatness, and it's kind of like, having your binder where you have, your notes, your assignments, your vocabulary, your bell work, and all that kind of stuff, divided with dividers, So, like I said, topics it should be your best friend as a teacher when you use topics because, you can create projects and put them on here. You can, or like a projects tab, and that's where you post where you want your projects to be instead of just having them on assignments. That way the kids don't get them confused. So let's move on to the next one here. Let me open this up. And like I said, try not to post like assignment after assignment after assignment because it's going to, really mess up your kids. It's going to make them confused. Okay. So next, how do you organize your days of the week? So how do you organize your days of the week on Google Classroom? That's the next thing. All right. So like I said, I posted this here. Let me find it. The bell schedule, I posted this here. That way the kids know what we're going to be doing that week. If it's going to be synchronous or asynchronous, that's one way. Now, another way that I have decided to use is this right here, is my Bitmoji Classroom. And I have these throughout the days of the week. I haven't updated it too much. Like I know it says August, but I usually just leave that alone there. But this is one option you can do. Like, I have the everything's clickable. The kids can click here and it takes them to the assignments or whatever. But like, let's say Monday, if you go to Monday, it tells you what we're doing. It's going to be it tells you right here, it's an asynchronous day, virtual face-to-face, and we're going to be working on Nearpod. So the kids would click here and it would take them to Nearpod. Or let's say it's an asynchronous day. So here it says asynchronous days, engage independent work. So what does that mean? Kids need to do their bell work. They go here and they're going to do this right here where it says Mexico's bodies of water. So that's the assignment. How does that help? It tells the kids what they will be doing throughout the days of that week. Okay, that's one way of doing it. This is a little extra. That's a little bit more hard work. You really have to put in extra work, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. With me, it works sometimes. But I keep it very basic. I just tell them, today we're going to do this. Basically every day we do bell work, and then we do an assignment. Well, not every day, but every synchronous day. And then every asynchronous day. Every synchronous day, we're going to work on Nearpod. Okay, that's our basic lessons. Reviewing what we're going to learn. Kids interact, and that's their grade. So that's one way. This is one way you can organize your classes from the days of the week. But there's many other ways. Okay, let me go back to this over here because I'm kind of jumping ahead. So there's different days or different ways. Sorry, I said days. That you can organize yourself throughout the week. Okay, so you can organize yourself through different ways by using Classroom Stream, Topics, Materials, Google Calendar, and Bitmoji Classroom. So like I said, we can use Bitmoji Classroom. You can use your topics. that can help you organize your days of the week, because maybe instead you can like make a topic. And let me do it on the on this one here. Like maybe you can make something ahead of that week where you can just put Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you know, and then you put the work for that day, and you put the day of that week. And that's kind of the same way I had it from my other class when we first started in March. Let me show you. So here we go. So you could do it like this also, like I used to do, which was week of May 4th to the 8th, and that's what they would do, you know. So you can do it the days of the week, or you know, the month or the year, depending on what exactly you want to do with your classroom. So you can do that either with topics or, like I said, with your Bitmoji classroom. Let me go back here. Okay, now another way you can organize yourself is, and it says right here, with the stream. So the classroom stream. So that's basically like if you're on Facebook where you'd write like your what's on your mind or whatever. But this is for, you know, teachers to write announcements, you know, and you can put like different things. Like here, I put your reminder, we'll be taking our social studies test today through second period. So you as a teacher, you can keep your kids organized by sending out messages basically on the message board so the kids know, and it sends them an alert every time you post something, so they will see it automatically. Either they log in on their computer and they get on their emails, or here, or if they have Google Classroom connected to their phone or tablet, they'll get that automatic alert. So this is one way that you can keep your kids organized and yourself organized. Another way is this. So I haven't used this in a while, but I'm probably going to start using this more often. Would be announcements. So here I made it very simple, where I just put announcements for that week. But one thing you can do is, you know, you can, you know, create, and we're going to put it on materials, because if you're going to do something for the kids to see and you put it on assignments, well, then the kids can mess with it or whatever, and they're going to be turning it in. So the best thing to do for the kids just to look at it is put it under materials. And let's say, let's go ahead and put docs. Okay, let's make it easy, because I was going to do spreadsheet, but docs would be a little bit easier. And let's say we're going to go ahead and insert a table. We're going to insert about 5 for 5 days of the week and what they're going to do. So here, what you would do is you'd stretch this out a little bit. You put here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and so on. Okay, so on Monday you would put here what they're going to do. Tuesday you'd put here what they're going to do, and so on. And once you post this here, and it's already posted as material for them, like let's say this would be their announcements or you know, weekly tasks, you don't have to delete this file. All you would do is reopen this up again, open up this, change this here, close it, and it's automatically going to save for you. So like I said, you can, this is another way of doing it. Like it's kind of like this one right here. You know, Monday, read books, check notes. So it's kind of a simpler way of looking at this here. Like it would probably be like kind of like your graphic organizer, I guess. You know, but telling the kids what they would be doing that week. You know, that's another way you can do that to keep yourself organized. Another thing that I'm sure high school kids are doing, but the elementary and middle school are not, is using their Google Calendar. So let me go to my student account real quick. So right here, I'm at my student account, and you can't access Google Calendar here in your class. What you got to do is you have to go back to classes, and your Google Calendar for Google Classroom is right here. And what you can do is you click here, and it shows you the classes. So here it says all classes. It shows you what's due that week. Obviously, right now, teachers have not assigned anything yet. This teacher did. I don't know why. But let's go back a little bit. let's say right here. So here we got a boatload of stuff here, and the reason why is because all the teachers use the student account to post stuff. But as a student, you'd probably see like a few things here. So let's say you want to concentrate on one class. Let's say you're in 6th grade math. So you see that that's there available for you, and that's under your calendar. Now let me show you how to get to the calendar again. Okay. And a lot of time, like these things are available for the kids. They're just often overlooked because the kids automatically just click on class, whatever. They don't look at this stuff here. So there's your calendar. That helps you stay your students and yourself stay super organized. And the reason being is that it tells them what is assigned that week. And that's why when you're creating an assignment, it's important to put a due date. Okay, that way it comes out on your student calendars. Because if you don't put a due date, that assignment itself will not come out on the calendar. So always remember to put a due date. It will help organize you and your students will be very successful. As long as you tell them, hey, and show them, here's a calendar. This is telling you what you're missing, and they can go back, and I'm going back to the weeks before we left for vacation, and there's a lot of stuff here. And they can choose their classes, like I said earlier. Maybe they have this teacher right here. Okay, this teacher didn't assign anything, so let me try another one. Sorry about that. So here's my class here. So see, I assigned this here and here on this week, from this week to this week. So the kids can go back and they can look at that. Another thing they can look at that gets overlooked is to-do list. Right here it says to do. And here it tells the kids what is assigned. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff that's assigned. They can look at all their classes. As you can see. And it's kind of overloading because it's a bunch of the classes. See what I mean? So let me go back. Right, there's a bunch of classes. It's not going to glitch out like this with your kids because it's only like 7 classes. So yeah, so it shows all the classes there on your to-do list. Let me go back here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up on me again. So it shows you all the things that are assigned. Anything that is missing. So let's say like you put a due date and what time, and if they don't do it, well, it shows that it's missing. Like this one was missing. And things that you already done. And obviously I had there's not too many things already done here. So see, like this person probably tried it out. So this shows what they've done and what their grade is. And it says all classes. If the kids want to, they can concentrate on just one class and they can see what it is they're assigned or what it is they're missing. Okay, so that's something else that the kids can work with. And that's something we need to train the kids to do. I know a lot of teachers probably do, some people don't, because we're still, we're barely in the middle of the year and we're still, learning Google Classroom, and that's fine. This hit us, out of nowhere, all this online learning. So another thing they can use is their folders. Excuse me, not their folders. Like if they open their folders, it'll take them to the drive. And this is the student drive and what the teacher has posted, but that it'd be too hard for them to use. So I wouldn't recommend showing them that. What they can use is this here, where it says open your work, and it takes them straight to the work tab. It tells them everything that they're missing or anything they've turned in. So that's another thing that they can use, or they can look at the assigned, anything that's assigned, anything that's returned, or anything that, like I said, is missing. Okay, so that's another tool that you can use with your students to keep them organized. Okay, so like I said, you can use several things, such as your stream, your topics, materials, Google Calendar, and Bitmoji Classroom. We already went over all those, so let's move on to the next part here. So next is how to organize yourself when grading your students' work. So this is a big one here because, we use PowerSchool, and PowerSchool is not synced with Google Classroom, so we have to go back and forth, and it gets a little frustrating. I know some teachers that they print out their gradebook and they type their grades onto Google Classroom or they type out their grades. They print out their grades from Google Classroom and put it onto over here. It's very, very nerve-wracking. So here's some tips that you can use. So remember, it's very easy to post an assignment on Google Classroom, expect your kids to do it, but when it comes to grading, especially online, it can be very chaotic, stressful, and frustrating. Like I said earlier, it's important to remember what I said in the beginning. Do not overload your kids with work because it's going to come back and bite you. What I mean by that is whatever you post, you're going to have to grade. So like I said, if you're going to give your kids like an assignment every single day, you're going to have to grade those assignments because if the kid's failing and you only graded a few assignments because you wanted to, then that's not really fair. And it's going to come back and bite you, like I said. Just post what you're willing to grade that's going to be, help them learn, but also be easy for you to grade. Don't be posting assignment after assignment after assignment because, like I said, you're going to have to grade everything you post, okay? So we'll be showing you how to be able to grade your assignments using PowerSchool and Google Classroom at the same time. It's a simple step, but it will save you a lot of time. So let me show you how I grade, okay? So first off, let me go to my classroom. Let me go to my second period because I haven't messed with that one yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this. I'm going to go to classwork. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open up my gradebook. So I'm going to go to PowerSchool, go here. I'm going to launch my gradebook. Okay, so in my classroom, I have two screens. So I'll have one screen here and one on the side. So what I usually would do is I would, move this to one side here and it would go to my next screen. That way I can look at my classes back and forth. If you don't have two screens, you can just do this. You just grab your gradebook here, you put it all over here, it puts it like this, then you simply just click this here. Okay, and then I'm going to go right here, I'm going to look for my grade, my second period, which is this one right here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grade. So this is how I would initially grade. So let's say I'm in 36 weeks and I'm going to work with bell work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the topic for bell work, put it in, and then I'm going to make sure that all my other classes have, the bell work 1 through 4, like I have here. And then I'm going to grade. So what I'm going to do next is I'm ready to grade. I'm going to make sure on my second period, and I'm going to be on bell work 1.4, 3.1, and I'm going to go over here to this one. I'm going to go ahead and view assignment. So this is the teacher view. Now let me expand it. So the teacher view looks like this. Here are all your students. And here are the kids that have done work and have not done work. So this is what I'm going to do. Here are all my students. Here are the grades I've given them. As you can see, not all of them are going to be in alphabetical order. So what I'm going to do is right here it says sort by status. So status means if they turned it in and if they have not turned it in, or if they have gotten their grade yet. So instead of status, I'm going to click here and I'm going to put by last name. So it's going to put all the kids by last name just like it has here in gradebook, like this person right here. You see the same person, so I would give them a grade. This person right here, give them their grade, and I'd keep going on like that. And I would do the same thing for, let's say, a regular assignment. So I'm going to press back. I'm going to go over here to this assignment here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And let me go ahead and find that on my gradebook. So I'm going to go find reading passage 1 and 2. And here I divided them into 2 grades because there's 2 reading passages. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go here, sort by last name, and then I will be putting them here, by their first and last name. Okay, and that's how I make it simple. So like I said, when it's enlarged like this, you grab it, put it right here, it puts it there. This will pop up here, and then you just, go to your class, make sure you sort it by their last name. That way it's in the same style as your gradebook, okay? You just need to make sure you pay attention to the names, make sure that they're over here. Makes it completely easy. Another thing teachers will do, I don't like doing this. They look at the grade book. Thing is that it comes out all over the place. Like it's not like in the right place for that. But you can sort by your first name or by last name, and you just look at the kids' grades from here, and then you type them over here. So those are two ways I know how to upload grades onto Gradebook. I wish there was another way. If there is, please let me know, and I'll add it onto this presentation. That way, it's easier for teachers to be able to, upload the gradebook. I wish PowerSchool would collaborate with Google Classroom, but they haven't. So yeah. But if you do those steps, they should help you out a little bit more. Okay. So if you have any other questions, please go ahead and contact me at my email. It's pmartinez042@gmail.com. I do not have my colleagues' emails. I'll add them later on in the description. But if you have any questions, please contact me, any of my colleagues, which are Miss Jessie De La Cruz or Mr. Saul Salinas, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, or just contact the tech team. Thank you for your time, and hope you all have a great rest of the semester. Bye.